my lovelies. I am Madam Crystal Butterfly. It's still October, meaning it's still the perfect time to have a little fun with some spooky tales of terror. That's why today I plan to review Fractals by author D.L. Tillery. Fractals is a fun, scary little tale of a vacation gone wrong. But before I tell you anything about that, let me tell you a little bit more about this very talented writer. Tillery feels that writing tends to have a therapeutic feel. I think that's part of the reason why she didn't have a hard time writing her story Fractals, even though she did run into trouble while self-editing the story. After reading The Room Within and Fractals, I was curious if she was attempting to create a connected universe with her books. She let me know all of her short stories that she has released and some unreleased are all connected in her story universe, which she plans to introduce in her debut full novel, Carlisto. But she will continue to release the side stories before and after Carlisto is published. Since Fractals is the second book by this author, I was curious about how she feels about getting book reviews. She does read reviews of her book with an open mind. Tillery feels all reviews, no matter if they are good or bad. The point was to make the reader feel something, and if they did, she did her job. Although she hasn't gotten any bad reviews yet, and she said when she does, well, really when or if that happens, she'll smile knowing that person read her book. I like her perspective on this because, in my opinion, the harmful reviews are the ones where you can tell that person didn't read your book. One time when I was looking at some of the reviews for my first book, Curse of the Frog Prince Part 1, I decided to read one of the reviews that gave me a good score. I was excited to hear what that person liked about my book until I read the whole review. The reviewer labeled my story as a wonderful children's book. Curse of the Frog Prince is not a kid's book. It's full of adult situations, and I put a disclaimer in the book just in case the buyer ignored the blood-soaked knife on the cover. Long story short, I'm grateful that that's the only good review I received where it was blatantly obvious the person didn't read the book. So, my lovelies, when it comes to snow, I don't remember seeing any chances of snow on the weather report today. Oh, well, I guess that's what's happening. Good thing I brought my gloves. Anyway, my lovelies, you might want to put on something warm too. You don't want to freeze like the couple in this story. Dallure is excited yet nervous about the upcoming trip with her boyfriend. She is expecting a long-awaited proposal, but on the road, Drake is being anything but romantic. They reach their destination after a cold hike through the snowy mountains. Only things soon take a turn for the worst. Dallure wakes up freezing and confused the next morning with Drake nowhere to be seen. The following weeks will change her life as she knows it. Frightened at the odd occurrences and Drake's disappearance, Dallure is determined to find out what really happened on that mountain. I guess this is it for filming in the cemetery. It's too cold to stay. My lovelies, before we head someplace a little bit warmer, let's talk about this story's leading lady, Dallure. It's cold. Tillery's inspiration to write Fractals came from the theme for another horror anthology she was accepted into. This anthology was inspired by the cold syndrome called primary Raynaud's. The author mentioned that she suffers with primary Raynaud's, and apparently primary Raynaud's will affect certain parts of the body, causing those parts to lose blood flow and go numb. Her character Dallure learns quickly what having your body freeze that badly feels like. I'm not delving too deep into why Dallure got so cold. If you want to know the reason for that, then you have to read this book to discover the answer. I will mention that I like the fact that just like in Tillery's book The Room Within, the main character is not a fool. Early in the story, Dallure is excited about her birthday camping trip in the snowy Oregon mountains. She even feels that her boyfriend will propose to her on the trip. However, on the drive to Oregon, she notices that there may be trouble in paradise. The only thing stopping her from addressing it is the fact that her boyfriend wants to drive up just the two of them and camp together. I also like that this problem was not dragged out to the point that it had a major effect on the horror elements of the story. More often than I would like, whenever there is a relationship issue in a horror story, it's detrimental to the overall story. I've seen and read horror stories where when the evil person, monster, or thing is trying to kill the main character, the whole running for your life situation is compulsively interrupted by the characters feeling they need to argue about their relationship right then and there, instead of trying to get away from whatever is trying to kill them. Whew. My lovelies, it feels so good to be out of that cold. Anyway, time to rate this story. So, when it comes to Fractals by author D.L. Tillery, I am giving it the rating of 5 butterflies out of 5. This was a very entertaining read and such a thrilling horror story. So I'm telling you right now, my lovelies, if you don't grab yourself a copy of this spooky tale, then you're really missing out. Now, if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. And please, give this video a like. Leave me a little comment. And if you have not yet, slap the subscribe button like it owes you money. And don't forget to give that little notification bell a ring. And with that, my lovelies, this video is a wrap. Now, if you please, come with me as we dance into a world of magic.